Hello, universe. We thought we would provide a few updates on some things. We'll present in this showcase series of our custom Pinescript strategies and indicators for Tradingview, part 4. We'll showcase a new strategy release, and we'll present Coinbase Futures or derivatives and why we like using them, and provide a few updates to our business, EMCS.store. So right off the bat, let's jump into the new strategy we released for our members. We are quite proud of this strategy. We've had a lot of success with it, and so have our members, in combination with other things and standalone. And in this particular use case example, we're going to use Ethereum, and this strategy is set up similar to others we've presented. $10,000 account. Instead of doing contracts on the S&P 500 or the SPY, we're just using a very conservative $100 per entry, and currently no pyramiding or dollar cost averaging. We'll show you those results as well. And instead of $1 per contract in some of our previous examples, although you can also use this for options trading and on other markets, but we're just presenting this particular use case, and so we built in a commission of 6%, or 0.6% rather. I'm sorry, that's about the standard commission rate for Coinbase when just trading the underlying commodity, and we'll talk about Coinbase Futures as well, and futures contracts. But this strategy is somewhat similar to the last one we released using standard deviations, but it's not a channel, it's dynamically adjusted bands. So you can see they expand and contract depending on the volatility. And now, don't be misled by this, because it's not always 100% profitable. The 26% profit factor, all these things fluctuate and vary depending on, because Tradingview can only go back so far in its data that's displayed. Deep back testing is different, but it won't show you the historical charting, plotting of the strategy beyond, I think the maximum is something like 5,000 or 4,000 bars. And this is on, you can see the 30-second chart. And again, don't be misled by the time frame, because we're not trading 300 times a day with this or anything. Each one of these horizontal lines represents a different trading day. For crypto, it rolls over into a new trading day at 1900. So that's what those represent. But you can see how this has been performing. When the market really flattens out and volatility goes out, these bands get really tight, and it can take a while. Sometimes we'll get one trade a day, sometimes we'll get two, sometimes it'll take a couple days to resolve. But you you can see the performance the strategy has had. It's pretty good. We're pretty happy with it. And this might not sound like a lot of money, but again, the risk on this is very, very low. And with no, like I said, it's $100 buy-in rather than doing a full contract. We could change it to that and have you see what that looks like as well. Contract. Let's see here. It takes a little time to run the calculations. 2.9%. And this is, let's see here, over a week. And you can see it performs with both long and short. Depending on market conditions, it'll perform a little better long or short, depending on what the market's doing. You can see average bars in trade. Again, this is on the 30-second chart, so divide by 2 for minutes, and so 24 times 60, that's 1,440 minutes in a day, so times 2 for the 30-second chart. So you can see currently it's been performing on the short side. The trades have been taking longer to resolve, and on the long side it's a little bit less than a day. So we're pretty happy with it, and we're happy to release another quality non-repainting strategy for our members, and we've also been implementing this ourselves. But let's put this back on $100 USD per entry in both long and short side, and just to keep it super conservative, and then we can implement pyramiding like I said last time. Put it to 100, but it never gets there, right? And we can see what this does. This is with, again, going back just a week. That's 5% profitable, 20 profit factor. We're definitely pretty happy with this, and that's just using the underlying security or asset, in this case Ethereum. But we also like to use this with futures, and in particular Coinbase Futures, and we'll tell you why. Because compared to, let's say, pardon the interruption there, interactive brokers, you can see the micro ether contract goes for, so the column headings aren't being displayed here, but you can see them there. There's the intraday maintenance, the overnight maintenance, right? So for the micro ether, it's about $90 a contract, and then if you go beyond regular stock market trading hours, which of course futures do, with the exception of the 1 hour break, and then the weekends, you also have to pay additional margin maintenance on those contracts versus Coinbase. You can see, let's see here, this is the April 25th expiring contract, so that's just in a few days, and Coinbase can auto roll it for you, although I would advise some caution with that feature. We've been burnt by that before, selling at the very low and then buying high for the next month contract. But like I said previously, how long these trades typically take to resolve. So you can see to sell, you can go long or short. This is currently in a short position, so it can't show you what it'd be like to go long, although I guess it could probably go 2 contracts, and looks like it'd only be $32, but I'm not sure about that. Let's take it back. So if I wanted to double down and buy a second contract, we bought this one for about $67, but you compare that with interactive brokers, micro ether contracts, you're paying about, and I don't think this even includes the commission, $90, $91 plus if you're holding it beyond intraday stock market hours, that's another $91, so $182 versus Coinbase. There's no overnight margin maintenance costs. You're just holding the contract at whatever you bought it for. And you can see the leverage. The leverage varies. So on the long side right now it's 3.6x, and on the short side it's 2.52. And you can also see the fee. This is a promotional rate Coinbase has on the derivative contracts, which are the futures. So that would actually change this. It wouldn't be 0.6%. It's actually about 20 cents. So on 100 USD purchase for buying Ethereum itself, you'd be paying a 0.6% commission, so 60 cents, right? Versus these contracts, we're only paying about 20 cents right now, and they have leverage. Now, if you don't know much about futures, you definitely need to educate yourself before you dive into this, because you can get liquidated, and you can become over levered, and that can really mess up your account. So you must be careful about that, and you must educate yourself about that. And as always with all of our stuff, this is not financial advice. We are just showcasing some of what EMCS.store offers in terms of our custom Pinescript strategies and indicators for Tradingview as part of our suite, in addition to offering our services on a contract basis for developing your own. So we like these Coinbase derivatives for a lot of different reasons. It's a much lower barrier to entry. You can see compared to the micro E-mini S&P 500, these contracts are going for $1,800, right, with overnight maintenance of over $2,500. So the barrier for entry into futures trading is a lot lower with these micro crypto contracts, and Coinbase offers a whole host of them. Ethereum happens to be one of the cheapest, so that's why we're showcasing that, because it's a much lower barrier for entry. We can check out the Bitcoin one, and if we were to buy this, right, it cost $193. If we were to buy this long, if we were to sell this short, it would be costing $319. So we thought we'd present both those things, and We are also happy to announce some developments with our business. We had this requested quite a bit from some of our members, and we decided to offer a yearly subscription plan. So instead of $100 a month, members choose to sign up for the yearly subscription access to our proprietary suite of strategies and indicators. Have the option of doing so for $1,000 a year, saving 2 months worth in subscription fees. And let's see if I can show that here. So that's an exciting development.